Hello and welcome to this week's Top Property Tips. In this episode, I'm going to be delving into the tricky area of planning permission and asking, do you actually need it? Now, this is a pretty important question because if you make major changes to your property without it, you could be forced to undo everything that you've just done. Having said that, you might well be surprised to discover that nowadays, even some pretty big building works don't actually require the whole kind of rigmarole of a full planning application. However, it's absolutely essential you know the rules and that you get someone trustworthy and qualified to do the work. So do check out the Move IQ website where we have a fantastic local tradesperson to find out. You'll spot the link below. First, let's take a look at extensions. Now, the guidelines I'm going to explain here all assume that your extension is no higher than the existing roof, the materials are similar to the rest of the house, there's no veranda or balconies, and new upper story windows don't overlook your neighbours. But do bear in mind that there are different rules to apply if your property is a flat, a listed building, or if you live in a conservation area or area of outstanding natural beauty. So do check with your local planning authority. A single-story extension is usually considered permitted development, meaning you won't require planning permission, if it doesn't extend beyond the rear wall of the original house by more than 3 meters, or 4 if we're talking about a detached house, and if it doesn't come forward of the property either. With a side extension, you're normally good to go if it's a single story and no higher than 4 meters. Conservatories, by the way, count as single story extensions when it comes to planning rules. If you fancy making use of the space above your head, you can generally crack on with a loft conversion without planning consent, providing it doesn't protrude from the main roof. And while we're thinking about roofs, adding solar panels or a skylight isn't usually a planning matter either. When it comes to 2-story extensions, it's likely you won't need planning permission if it's no closer than 7 meters to the rear boundary and no more than 3 meters deep. So all in all, quite a lot of options available to you under rights of permitted development. However, please don't forget that depending on the scope of the work you're planning, you may still need to ensure it meets current building regulations and that you have the completion certificates to prove that it does. When it comes to the time to sell, it's absolutely vital that you have all the right paperwork to hand. So be warned. There are lots of options, yes, but it is quite complicated, and if you did need planning permission or building regs and you didn't get it to start with, a buyer at some point in the future wouldn't be able to raise a mortgage on your property until such time as you had all the right paperwork. It's a real headache trying to do it retrospectively, so please get it right to start with. What else? Outbuildings, garden houses and sheds don't need planning permission so long as they're single story and take up less than 50% of the property's land. They can't be used as accommodation, but you can use them to work from home. Another popular way to gain more living space is a garage conversion, which also doesn't usually need permission unless your property is listed or in a conservation area. Adding or moving doors and windows can also be fine if you're not in a listed building, although weirdly, sometimes bay windows count as extensions. As a general rule, you're free to put up gates and fences that are under 1 meter high, although watch it if that gate is creating a new access to a road. Fences over 2 meters high, however, will need planning permission. Carrying out any work on your home can add value, although perhaps not always as much as you might think. So it's a good idea to have a play about on the extension value calculator on Move IQ's website and find out whether or not your property plans will boost your home's asking price. I'd love to hear your stories about changes that you've made to your home. So please do post them in the comments below and make sure you subscribe to Move IQ to get more unmissable tips each week. Thanks for watching and good luck.